Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a good day. Last night I played with some watercolors. I got a set of paints that I just wanted to mess around with and just put something on the page, and I came up with a really cool effect, and today I want to try to recreate it using a different color scheme. So the watercolors you see here are I got off of Amazon. They're a cheaper set because I'm not very familiar with using watercolors, and I really just wanted to play around with watercolors last night. So I don't want to spend money on watercolors until I know what I'm doing, and then I'll put out some money to get a better set. But last night I played with the purples, the greens, and the blues, and I really liked the end effect of what I did, and I really want to recreate it with yellows, oranges, and reds. So I'm just going to put some layers down. The first layer is going to be very thin. I'm just going to splash colors down. No, not trying to create any image or anything. I just want to smear color across the page to make a nice, warm, sunny day. My little dogs are pitter-pattering in here, so hopefully you don't hear their little feet. It's mostly going to be yellows and oranges. I'm going to bring in some red at one point, but it's going to be more of the orangey red because red can dominate a page faster than anything. And I really don't want to be this to be a red dominant page. I really want the yellows and the orange to create that warm feeling and not such the harshness of the red. Orange is not one of my favorite colors, which is probably why I stay away from the orange side. But it has one of the best effects of like being so vibrant when done properly. So here I am bringing in that red color. It's kind of an orangey red. I don't think I brought in a true red at all. This is the closest I got to it. I'm not really worried about blending the colors. I'm just trying to get color on every inch of the page, and then I'm going to dry this first layer. I really do love making background pages for my journal. It's one of my favorite things. I love the painting process of all the medias. I enjoy it so much. And then just layering it up with different things, but today it was just watercolors. So I'm about done with that first layer. I've heard that red is one of the hardest colors to paint with. I can see that. I can see why. It really takes over a page fast, and you have to be able to control it. So that was the last of the first layer. And now I'm going to come in and make those colors pop by bringing in a second layer with more color or less water. I started painting when I was a teenager, a long time ago. My mother and I took classes, but it was oil painting. That is a completely different animal from watercolors. And it requires a lot more due diligence, because a lot of the materials you use in oil painting can be toxic. I love that in today's age there are non-toxic versions of most of the products, and I may get back into oil painting someday, but not right now. I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. But now you see how the yellows are really popping off the page. And they will tone down once the paint dries, but it's definitely more vibrant than it was. The page, the table is not my actual table. I have a little mat that I bring in when I paint, because I get really messy sometimes. As you can see from the mat, my table is actually not that dirty. It's just the mat, and I do that in order to keep my table safe. Now I'm just bringing in a couple of new little colors to get more of the blending to go in between the three colors that I was using. But this is the last layer. I only did 2 layers, and then I'm going to try the drip effect that I like to do with my inks, my distressed inks, which didn't work, but it did create a different effect that I thoroughly enjoyed. So now I'm going to try to do the drip effect. So basically I take the same colors, but I weaken them down with a bunch of water. And I'm just going to take them to the page like I do my inks and let them drip. Which, when you saw the cover page, you saw that you saw the end effect. It's how I came up with the title, the drip grid. It looks like a grid at the end. What I found is that on the lighter color, the warm colors, I didn't like it as much as I did the darker colors, and I think the reason is because of the color that was just there, the red. It is so bold that it didn't blend into the background as much as I wanted it to. I think that's why I liked the darker, the cool colors background better, because the drips blended into the background so much, and it just kind of looked like a watermark. And I don't mind the chaos there where the water went sideways. I like the different patterns that happen. I do just want to make sure that there's not a solid piece on the page, so I will come back when I'm done with all the corners. I mean all the sides, because I'm going to do this on every side. And if there's any place that doesn't have any water, I'm gonna add a drip. Like right there, I'm fixing that so it'll drip straight down. But now you start to see the grid form, so you kind of see where I got the name. And then I'm just going to come in and clean up the edges, because some of the edges, the paint didn't go all the way to the end. But that is my drip grid paper that I really like. I think it's going to make nice background pages, or cut it up for little tags and notes. I really liked it. And I'm going to bring in the one I did last night just so you can see the 2 different versions. I might try this with coffee and tea next. Coffee and or. I do have some leftover paint from doing my bubble paper, because I had to renew my stock on that. I may try it with that as well. So we'll see. you see in the lower right hand corner, that's the effect on the on the cool colors, where it just really blends in. I liked that. So here's the one I did last night. This is so good. I just love the way that looks. It just amazed me. I think now that I did it, the cool colors were probably, I didn't do enough of the grids, so I may go back and fix that, add more lines. But that's my drip grid method. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day.